Ladies and gentlemen, Fluffy versus RoboCop is the main event for this week's fight night. Anthony Hernandez versus Gregory Rodriguez. It's not in the Apex. It's in, fuck, dude, I forget where this is at. Sacramento. There, yeah, it's in Sacramento. Overall, this is honestly a pretty good card. You know, like, I'm not complaining about it. There's some good fights on the main card we'll get to. And I think there's just going to be a couple of good scraps. You know what I mean? And I just want to say, you know, usually I don't upload predictions on Tuesday. I do it on Thursday. I'm doing it today. I got a busy week going back to college. So I just said, fuck it, man. I didn't do a lot of tape watching, but I think I'm actually kind of confident in my picks. So let's just get started with the first fight of the night. Terrence Chapman versus Anthony Wint. Dude, this is going to be, he's a minus 1,000. I'm actually going to go with Terrence Chapman. I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to pop the jab and mix it to the body and, you know, maybe time an uppercut. No, I'm going with Anthony Wint. This is nothing. This is, I don't know. Like, I've seen videos about, like, oh, dude, Anthony Wint with this kind of schedule is going to be like Chimaev type of schedule. And, yeah, I mean, it's cool to see him fight, like, 2 weeks after his Contender Series win. However, it's against a fucking trash can. It's against a nobody, Chapman. This guy Anthony Wint might as well be fighting Eric Cartman. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, good for him. You know, we got to build him up. He doesn't have a lot of, he's definitely not 1-0, but he doesn't have a lot of MMA experience. So, what I mean is just like, I don't want people being like, dude, this guy's fighting in 2 weeks. What a madman. He's not fighting a Marcin Tybura or someone like that. He's fighting a Terrence Chapman who's also making his UFC debut. Short notice for him. 2 weeks after Contender Series for Anthony Wint. It's going to be a demolition job. Anthony Wint's going to go out there and easily ground and pound TKO him. He looks promising. We don't know too much. We can't say this guy's going to be like fucking Thanos in the heavyweight division. He looks good. We got to see more of him. We got to see how he is when he's a bit tested, if he can bite down on the mouthpiece, get gritty with it, and deliver up. So he's not that high on my prospect, but I am excited to see this guy grow, get a lot of fights in the UFC, and fuck some people up. I'm going with Anthony Wint by round 1 ground and pound TKO. Moving on to another Contender Series guy, Mauricio Barbosa versus Ryan Coos. Ryan Coos looked pretty good on the Contender Series last week. I think this is kind of short notice too, of course. Or maybe it might be short notice for Ryan Coos and Barbosa. Maybe he had a different opponent, or he knew he was going to be fighting. He just didn't have an opponent. This is not like what I was just talking about with Anthony Wint. Barbosa is not a trash can. This is probably one of the, actually, I wouldn't say one of the hardest debuts. Like, we don't know how good Barbosa is. We know he's really good and really, really powerful. So this is a really hard debut. What I like from Ryan Coos is, I mean, it was everywhere, the highlight. Even when he was kind of dominating everywhere, and it was about to go to a decision, he still was trying to finish the fight, going for the arm bars. But his style is, he's a counter. You know, he kind of waits for guys to throw, look for the openings, and just fuck them up. Look for the counter, look for the holes in the game. But I'm going with Barbosa by round 1 KO. Barbosa is so fast and so deadly to the point where even if Barbosa throws a jab and Ryan Coos is like, all right, I'm going to slip it, go over with the overhand, Barbosa's going to see that and just just be faster with the punches and land like an uppercut, send Coos flying through the air. And I could trust in Barbosa's grappling. It's pretty good. We haven't seen too much in the UFC, of course. I think this is his second fight. He easily KO'd Denis Burjuka, which is, I mean, it's not aging too bad. Even though Burjuka lost to Bogdan Grad, he was looking pretty good in that, you know? And Barbosa just easily took him out. But I'm going to go with Barbosa by round 1 KO. Ryan Coos is a really hard debut in the UFC. I feel bad. But I like him. You know, after he loses, hopefully they stick with him, and maybe he can get like a maybe he can get Dennis Bajuka himself. You know, I think that might be a good matchup. Moving on to Chanel Dyer versus Elise Reed. Oh, I got a little text message. What's going on? Okay, all right. My fault. I forgot to come in. Sorry about that. Anyways, Chanel Dyer versus Elise Reed. That actually was a text from Mauricio Barbosa. He was actually listening on to my conversation just now, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna knock this guy out." So I'm confident in my pick. Anyways, Chanel Dyer versus Elise Reed. Chanel Dyer is a good prospect, a good WMMA prospect. She's slick on the feet. She has pretty good takedown defense. I think in her last fight, it was a KO too, against someone who just fought recently, maybe a week ago. Chanel Dyer. Let me look it up. Because she fought on the English. Oh, Ravina Oliveira by round 2 TKO. That's good. You know, I'm actually gonna say that is pretty good, because even though Ravina Oliveira is not is maybe one of the worst fighters in the UFC, she is pretty powerful on the feet and she's pretty fast. A lot of her losses in the UFC are from ground and pound, or like from grappling and submissions and stuff. But against Chanel Dyer, that was a striking matchup, and Chanel Dyer TKO'd him. So that's a good look. There's a reason why a lot of people think she's a really good prospect, and I think so too. Elise Reed, nothing really special. You know, like there's not a lot to say about Elise Reed. She's like a wait. Honestly, looking at her, I was about to say she's a win one, lose one type of fighter without even looking. I forgot what her record looked like, and that's actually exactly what that's exactly what it is. She is a win one, lose. I should say lose one, win one, because she's never lost twice and she's never won twice. That's crazy. She got submitted by Luma Lukbunmi, which is pretty insane because Luma Lukbunmi is mainly a Muay Thai fighter, I thought. Yeah, Elise Reed is not that good at all. I guess her volume is good. And I guess she's pretty tough. She has a good gas tank. She just lost to Denise Gomez, who's on a pretty good streak right now and fighting next weekend. I'm going with Chanel Dyer by round 2 TKO. I think she's going to find it. I think against Oliveira, it was a head kick that started it all. I could see the exact same thing. Okay, what is it? 5'6", 5'3". Not big reach advantage, leg reach, 40-inch. Yeah, I could see that leg getting up there, wrapping around Elise's head and just knocking her out unconscious. I'm going with round 2 TKO for Chanel Dyer. As we move on to... Yes! My favorite prospect, Larian Douglas. Larian the Gunslinger Douglas. Man, I am so high on this guy. I am so high on this guy. This guy has nukes for hands. He's a slick striker. He's very fast. He's very accurate. He's got the nukes. And dude, I love Larian Douglas. I'm a Larian Douglas lover. We are going to KO Jamal Emmers in round 1. We will fuck Emmers up. And Emmers, he's pretty decent. This is not an easy test at all. I would say this is on the same level as Julian Erosa. Julian Erosa is a tough test too. And Larian Douglas went out there and just easily, dude, this guy knocked down Erosa 3 times with a jab alone. With a jab. I get it. Erosa's not the best fighter, but he's pretty damn tough. Melquaz de la Costa couldn't knock him out, and Costa has pretty good hands, pretty good power. Even though he just moved up to featherweight, he has pretty good power. He couldn't knock him out. He was almost going to be knocked out himself by Erosa. Douglas goes out there and puts a fucking whooping on Erosa. I love Douglas, man. The Gunslinger, that's his nickname. In the LFA, he had custom shorts with guns on the side. like, the gunslinger, like it's Red Dead Redemption 2. And after a fight, he would pull him out and, pretend to shoot. It was awesome. We got to get those custom shorts back. If he gets those in the UFC, I'm just going to say it. Best custom shorts in the game. I love Larry and Douglas, man. And what I was saying was Jamal Emmers, he's not a really easy test. I do think he's slightly below Julian Erosa, but I'm still going with round 1 KO for Larry and Douglas. This guy just has nukes for hands. I am a bit worried sometimes when he really overthrows. However, that is after he senses the blood in the water. Because in the Erosa fight, he started off really calm. He does have patience. But then once he started getting the momentum and everything, he started throwing big, started getting erratic. I'm a bit worried for that. However, I don't think this is one of the matchups where I have to be really worried about that. Jamal Emmers, he is tough. He doesn't have a lot of power in his hands. Okay, he's got pretty good grappling. His last performance was pretty good against Haider Emil. Just completely dominated him. But Haider Emil is not that good. At one point we thought he was good, but he's not that good. I'm gonna go with Douglas by round 1 destruction. A right overhand right on Jamal Emmers' head. And dude, people don't realize, man. I get it. He sucks, and he's probably my least favorite UFC fighter right now because he doesn't even belong. Javier Mendez. No, wait, no, well, hold on. That's not his name. Javier Mendez. What's Awfully just destroyed him. Fuck. What's his name? Hold on. No. Oh, Javier Reyes. Javier Reyes sucks. However, he is in the UFC. He does have he has a pretty decent win over Andrade, the guy. And even though he just lost to Conor Awfully is pretty decent too. Larry and Douglas easily smoked out Javier Reyes. Just easily destroyed him on the feet. His Contender Series knockout is one of the most brutal knockouts I've ever seen in my life. This is just going to be like 5 minutes of glaze for Douglas. I don't care. I love Larry and Douglas, dude. He's my GOAT. We stand him. All right? We are going to knock out Emmers. I just see it. And he does a good job at mixing up to the body. Sometimes he is a bit of a headhunter, but I think he's going to mix up to the body a lot. I could kind of see something like an Ilia Topuria, Jai Herbert type of knockout where he goes to the, it is Jai Herbert, where he goes to the body, left shovel hook to the body, right overhand against the cage. Emmers is knocked out unconscious. And I'm just really happy also that Douglas is doing this in an arena. If they put him in the Apex, that would have been fucked up because he has star potential. He trains with all these tough guys. He trains with Ethan Ewing. He trains with the Cub Swanson team, Danny Silva, Jalen Turner. And I love that. I love that team, man. Like those are fucking killers, man. Ethan Ewing is a killer. Larry and Douglas is a killer. So shout out them. I'm going with Douglas by round 1 KO. Moving on to Gage Young versus short notice opponent Stan Dorseneville. Pretty sure Gage Young was supposed to face off against Cody Steele. I'm going with Gage Young. I'm a bit surprised. I don't even know who this guy is. I was going to go with Cody Steele, honestly, to beat Gage Young. But I do think Gage Young is pretty good. I don't think he's bad. He, in his Contender Series, he lost against fucking Quillen South-Keeled, but he didn't look too bad doing it because he did way better and he survived and he was able to stuff some takedowns and land some good shots on Quillen. Gamrot couldn't do that. Nazareth Hakparas couldn't do that. His last opponent, Thiago Moises, split decision. I don't think it was a split decision. I think it would have been 29-28. I'm looking at this guy's opponent right now. Yeah, I'm going with Gage Young. Wow, minus 125. That's a bit crazy. That's kind of crazy. Because his last opponent, Stan, 4-0. That's not bad. 5-1, not bad. 4-0, not bad. 0-0 and 0-2. Dan Holt. Dan Holtz 4-1. Okay. Johnny Smith 7-3. Okay. Interesting. Um, Cedric Kadawamba 4-2. Joa Gururo, Hernandez Banks 1-5. Yeah. Wow, I'm actually kind of surprised that this is so close in odds. Do people really think Gage? I mean, listen, I don't think Gage Young is hot shit. I don't. But I think he is pretty good. He looked good against Quillen Salkilled. He looked pretty decent against Thiago Moises. His grappling looked pretty good. His grappling defense looked good. He's got somewhat decent power. He knocked down Thiago Moises. He was emoting him when Moises was pulling guard. I think I could see this ending in a late finish because I'm pretty sure Stan is taking this on short notice. He doesn't have a lot of experience. He could gas in the later rounds. But I'm going to go with 29-28 Gage Young. But I could see a round 3 body shot to head shot TKO for Gage Young. I'm going with Gage Young. As we move on to Chris Padilla versus Nazareth Haqparast. Chris Padilla, I like him. I like Taco. He's a very smart fighter. He game plans really good. He's got good Muay Thai, good high guard. My friend would fight. My boy Joe. Dude, this past weekend, Nurjaquani versus Yoel Alvarez, it was a bit of a boring fight. It wasn't that boring, but like, dude, my buddy Joe was just loving the Muay Thai from Chidi Nurjaquani. And I love it too. But this guy, my buddy, he was like, dude, look at those leg kicks were crisp. It was like Joe Rogan. And I think he would love Chris Padilla because Chris Padilla's Muay Thai is pretty good. He's got the high guard. He's got the elbows. And overall, he's just a smart fighter. He goes and tries to exploit his opponent's weaknesses super well. He does a bunch of tape watch, most likely. Nazareth Haqparast, he is pretty good. He's got a win over Esteban Ribovics. And that was a banger fight, so he's pretty tough. However, coming off a brutal knockout over against Quillen Salkilled, while this guy is out for minutes, not seconds. It was like the Tony Ferguson-Michael Chandler fight, where this guy is out, slumped, cold, eyes in the back of his head. That is not good. Not good at all. Yes, he's taken almost a year off, which, fuck it, man. After that bad of a knockout, you need a year off, maybe even more. But Chris Padilla, he doesn't have the same power as maybe a Quillen Salkilled, but he does have pretty good pop, and he does have good elbows. He kind of slowed down against Medeiros Mekaros, or whatever his name is. He's on this card too. Later in the fight, rounds 3. But I think he's going to be smart enough to pick Nazareth Haqparast apart. I don't see a finish from Chris Padilla, maybe. But I'm going to go with a 29-28 Chris Padilla. Nazareth kind of is gaining momentum in the later fight and takes over round 3. Padilla survives. Yeah. And what's weird, too, in his last fight, Chris Padilla, they read it that he won, and then later on was changed to a draw. Bit crazy to me. Feel bad for the guy, but I think this is going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be a good scrap. I'm excited. I'm going with Chris Padilla. As we move on to Jackson McVeigh versus my actual least fighter in the UFC, Wes Schultz. We hate Wes Schultz. We prey on his downfall. And I don't know why. I don't know why I hate Wes Schultz this much. I don't. Maybe because he just fucking sucks. And I don't know, man. And he messed up a parlay. No, I don't think it's that. I just don't know. I don't like Wes Schultz. He had the do-rag on. He's pretty cool. He's hood affiliated. You know, he's I don't even know where he's from. Maybe like Chicago or some shit. Maybe he's boys with Bilal. The Bilal who runs the slums. I don't know. But I just hate Wes Schultz. I don't know why. He has shit striking. He has decent BJJ. The guy he fought against last time was, I forget his name. I think it was Ben Jacob or some, not Ben Jacob. That's my buddy. Holy shit. What am I thinking of? Wes Schultz, Australian guy. He took some time off because of like a head injury or something, and then he comes back kind of short notice. Faces against Wes Schultz. Wes Schultz pulls Ben Johnston It was Ben Johnston, and he knocked Ben Johnston out, or knocked him down and then submitted him. Shit. I don't know. I just don't like Wes Schultz. I don't. I'm going with Jackson McVeigh by... Dude, I could see this round 1 KO. I could see this a round 1... Dude, I could see this round 1 submission where it's similar to Cedric Dumas where he knocks him down and then submits him. I don't know. I'm going with round 1 TKO for Jackson McVeigh. He's good in the clinch. He has good elbows. He was fucking up Zachary Reese until he gassed out and eventually got submitted. And Wes Schultz, he is terrible on the feet. This guy has nothing. Nothing at all. And Jackson McVeigh, the odds are close too. Somewhat close. Minus 185. I'm taking Jackson McVeigh. Wes Schultz sucks. Jackson McVeigh by round 1 destruction. As we move on to the main card. Yes! Yes! Yes, he's back! Shamil, the Blob, Gaziev. I love Shamil. I love Shamil, man. He's the GOAT. He's my profile picture. He's facing against Kennedy Nuzachukwi. Yeah, Kennedy. I think this is his 3rd fight at heavyweight, so lighter man scale doesn't really matter. And this guy has the potential to be good. He is fast on the feet. He's got hands, man. However, he sucks. Dude, this guy's going to a draw with, what's his name? Oh my, I'm blanking on a lot of names today. But fuck, he's terrible. I hate him so much. Look it up real quick. Marcus Buchecha. Oh my god. Oh my god, he's going to a draw with Marcus Buchecha. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How are you going to a draw with Marcus Buchecha, who just got sent flying against Ryan Spann, who has literally nothing on the feet? And this guy, like, the big thing is this guy has low IQ. 100% low IQ at all. Because in that fight, I don't know how to explain it. Like, he went for the ground. He was willing to work on the ground and fight on the ground against, yeah, he doesn't have the best striking, but he has BJJ credentials in Marcus Buchecha. He's like maybe like a 5-time world BJJ champ or some shit like that. And he's just willing to just lay on the ground, stand up, separate, and lay this motherfucker out. Instead of doing that, he's still going to the ground. And it's just such low IQ for Kennedy. Shamil Gaziev, he's gotten knocked out 3 times, 2 times in a row. He got knocked out against Waldo Cortez Acosta. Not a bad look. He got knocked out against Brando Pericic. Not a bad look. And he got... he got TKO'd by Hart against Rosenstrike in the main event, where he had heart palpitations and just gassed out and quit. I love Shamil, dude. How can you not look at my boy? How can you not love Shamil? I love him. His last performances against Pericic and Waldo, dude, those are heavy ass hitters who are good, who are our snipers. I don't think Kennedy is like that. Kennedy has power and he's light on the feet, but I could just see him doing some dumb shit and fucking up. I could see him easily getting taken down by Shamil, and the broadcast team is like, oh, Kennedy should have done that. Kennedy, Kennedy, yeah, he's got to remove that wizard, man. That wizard's going to get him taken down. And you just see him get slammed, taken down, and then ground and pound TKO or just submission. I could see a rear naked choke by Shamil. I'm not going to lie. Flattens him out. Oh, Jesus. Flattens him out, ground and pounds, and sinks in the rear naked choke, and he gets it. And Shamil's trying to climb onto the cage, and eventually, like, his corner boosts him up there. He's standing on their heads. He boosts him up there. He's on the cage, and he's screaming, ah! And his fat is jiggling. I love Shamil. I'm going with round 2 submission for Shamil. Okay, and Shamil's pretty tough. Okay, in his last fight, Brandon Pericic, he was eating a lot until eventually he did get flight. He did caught flight. he caught fly. He caught air. He went flying. He got caught, and he just soared through the sky and got KO'd. But he was taking a lot of shots before that. He's pretty tough. I'm going with Shamil by round 2 submission. Moving on to Carly Judice versus Gisela Chavez. I'm going with Carly Judice by 29-28. Or maybe a round 3 TKO. You know what? I'm going with round 3 TKO for Carly Judice. Chavez is tough. She had a banger performance, or a banger fight on the Contender Series. The last fight wasn't the best. It was all right. It went to decision in the Apex. It was pretty entertaining, but she started to slow down a lot. She thrives in a dogfight, but Carly Judice is a great WMMA prospect who is super technical, who manages to keep it at distance, keep it at her distance, play into her fight style and everything. Pick her opponent. What's the word am I looking for? Pick her opponent apart. There we go, and just play to her style. I'm going the Carly Judice by round 3 TKO. I could just see Chavez slowly start to slow down. Carly Judice circles her to the edge of the octagon against the fence and step in knee right to the ribs. Chavez, hunches over. And Carly Judice does some ground and pound, and eventually the ref stops in. I could see that. Carly Judice has nasty step in knees. So I'm going to go with round 3 TKO for Judice. Chavez, I do like her. She is a brawler, but Judice is just going to be too good for her. Going with Carly Judice. Next fight on the card, Marcelo Medeiros versus Mason Jones. Medeiros is the one I was talking about with Chris Padilla. I'm going with Mason Jones. I see this fight. Now, hold on. Stick with me now. I see this fight being similar to what's his name? Iri Prohaska and oh my god, he just fought Marcin Tamura. Oh my god. Why am I blanking on his name? Dude, I'm blanking on everyone's names, huh? Rakic. I could see this being similar to Rakic versus Prohaska, where we got a crazy fighter and we got a bit of a clean fighter. Medeiros likes it clean. He doesn't like a dogfight. He has great kicks. He doesn't have a lot of power at all. His kicking game is good, and he has a bit of a good gas tank. He is kind of tough, but he likes it clean. Mason Jones, we all know who this guy is. He doesn't care what you like it. He's going to he's going to drag you into deep waters, take you to where you are second guessing yourself. And I could see Medeiros starting good in the first round, doing good, landing heavy leg kicks. Mason Jones maybe starts to limp, and then eventually Jones is just going to pour it on him. And Medeiros is going to be like, dude, why is this guy still coming at me? Why is this guy not caring about his legs being like 25% capability? What is going on? Mason Jones, he always bites down on the mouthpiece. This guy is always entertaining. He always delivers. He doesn't care if he gets knocked down. He's going to get back up. He doesn't care if he's bleeding. He's going to drink his own blood to put it back into his system and have an energy boost. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a fuck. He's going to keep coming at you until you are broken or the fight's over and he's won 2 rounds and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I survived. Mason Jones is going to, honestly, I could see a round 3 TKO for Medeiros. Hold on. On Medeiros. I could see Mason Jones losing the first round, coming back in the second and third. Second round just pours on Medeiros. I think Medeiros is good, but I think Axel Sola is better. And Sola was about to be finished by Mason Jones. Jones's knees to the head are insane, and Sola is a pretty big guy, and Jones was getting those knees up there in the clinch. So I could see that being a big weapon for Jones. And also, he's just so tough, and he's going to pour it on you, and you're going to second guess yourself and think like, dude, this guy doesn't stop coming at me. This guy is going to kill me. I'm scared. Anthony Smith, Johnny Walker, you're attacking my family. You're attacking my spirit type of performance. I'm going with Mason Jones. Round early round 3, maybe late round 2 TKO. Or would this could be just a classic 29-28 fight of the night Mason Jones performance. Nevertheless, I'm going with Mason Jones. Moving on to the featured fight of the night, Rainer the Ritter versus Roman Dolidze. I'm going with RDR. Okay, Roman Dolidze sucks. I just have to say it. This guy sucks. At one point, everyone thought he was a pretty good prospect. He had like 3 performance of the nights against like Phil Hawes, stuff like that. Then he went on a 2-fight losing streak to Marvin Vettori and Imavov. Not bad looks. Dolidze got the Vettori win back in the rematch everybody wanted. He won that. He just doesn't have a lot of power, and he has kind of pillow hands. I'm not gonna lie. I honestly thought he low-key won against CLD. I know that's a hot take, crazy hot take, but I kind of think he won that. He has decent BJJ. However, I just think you need power to beat RDR. Because against like Kaio, against, I just said that, but Brendan Allen doesn't have a lot of power. However, his BJJ is elite. So I think you need to be elite in a game, in an aspect of an MMA game. And Roman Dolidze is not elite in anything. He is just mid. He is mid everywhere. He didn't even finish Anthony Smith, and that was at light heavyweight. I like the move up for RDR. I think he's gonna submit Roman Dolidze or step in knee KO. Dude, people forget, man. RDR went against Whitaker and he hurt Whitaker. Step in knee. He got knocked down, but he stepped in kneed Whitaker, and Whitaker was hurt badly. He's got crazy knees. He's got the height. Never mind, I thought he had a bigger reach than Dolidze, but I'm still confident in RDR. Minus 400, that's a bit crazy, I won't lie, but I'm somewhat confident in RDR getting this done by step-in knee, breaking the ribs of Dolidze, just breaking him down, and just fucking him up. I'm going with RDR. As we move on to the co-main event, this is tricky. This is not as easy as a lot of people think. Actually, there's a reason these are super close odds. Sergey Spivak really, really impressed me against Ante Delija. His jab is butter. His jab is the sweet pea definition of a jab. His jab is crisp, is golden. He was picking apart Delija on that back foot, popping the jab. Volk probably watched that and just had the biggest smile on his face. He's got a nasty jab, man. Sergey Spivak, he's a tough motherfucker, man. And he's got a pretty good chin. He's been finished before, but the last person to finish him is Jailton Almeida. And Jailton Almeida, later on to his career, where he was facing more elite fighters, he became a lot boring. However, at one point, everyone thought he was a great prospect, and for good reason, because he was fucking up these guys. He was fucking up Sergey Spivak. And Vito Petrino, he just went to war with Steven Asplund, but Steven Asplund is super tough, and he's got that power. Spivak, he has the jab, and he's kind of tough, but he doesn't have the power. I'm going with a 29-28 Vitor Petrino decision, but I am really worried. You know what? No. Dude, I've been second guessing this because Vitor Petrino, he really won against Asplund because Asplund was just coming forward and Vitor Petrino was so fast that he was just able to land so much more, cut up Asplund. Even though he got knocked down and hurt multiple times, he managed to recover, and he was just so fast when Asplund was coming in that he was just catching him. Spivak isn't going to be like that. He's going to play at his range. He has good distance management, and he has the BJJ. His BJJ, his jiu-jitsu is not that bad. You know, he submitted the GOAT, Marcin Tybura, and he submitted the just stand up Derek Lewis with an arm triangle, you know? This is really tricky. We could see Vitor Petrino just rush in and clip Spivak. I mean, Spivak did get hurt by Delija in the second round, but he managed to stick with it. I could see Petrino trying to rush in, because if he doesn't rush in and he plays at what's the reach? 70. Oh, never mind. Still. Dude, Delija is fast. I think Petrino might be a little faster, but still, Spivak was doing good with the speed, and he was catching him coming in with the jabs. I could see Petrino start to get aggressive. I could see a submission for Spivak. I could see Spivak popping the jab, getting Petrino frustrated, because unlike his last performance, his opponent's not going to just run into his punches. And I could see Petrino shooting in, having his head up. I know his trainer was like, against Smith, he had a torn MCL, and that's why he went in for a takedown and just didn't realize about his neck and got submitted. But what, are we supposed to look at Austin Lane and be like, submitting him is on the same level, and he definitely could submit Spivak? Spivak has good BJJ. Has Spivak ever been... has he ever been submitted? Spivak. Let me look that up real quick. I don't know if he's ever been submitted before. He got TKO twice. He lost to Marcin Tybura by decision. No, he didn't even get submitted by Jailton Almeida. He got TKO'd, but still, and he took him down. He took down Almeida. He lost against Waldo Cortez Acosta. That's a bit worrisome, but Waldo Cortez Acosta is really good. Damn, dude, I don't know. This is really tricky. Because I watched back the Dustin Jacoby fight, and Petrino was really hesitant, and that's his problem. If he doesn't have an opponent going first, he is very hesitant. And he didn't look that good against Thomas Peterson. Yeah, he knocked him out. He got performance of the night. That's crazy. But it took him 3 rounds to knock out Thomas Peterson. But he arm triangled Marcin Prachnio. That's not that impressive. He has a 79% defensive takedown defensive rate. That's not bad. Spivak has a 59. Dude, why am I now leaning with Spivak? I could see Spivak frustrating Petrino and honestly getting it done. Maybe by submission. Because even though everyone says Petrino doesn't have the best gas tank, he managed to pull it off against fucking Asplund. He has gotten way better with his gas tank. And that's good look. But why am I actually kind of leading with Spivak? The heart says Spivak, but the mind says Petrino. Shit, dude. I don't think Petrino's that good on the feet. I think he's good. And he's slick. But that Delija win is really impressive to me. Because, yeah, he didn't knock him out. And, yeah, he got hurt in the second round. But he did. This could be a 29-28 for Petrino. No, I think I'm going to stick with Vitor Petrino. I think I am. Because I think he could edge it out. I think he could survive, maybe even get a takedown of his own, because he is very explosive. I could see Petrino just blitzing in enough times to where the numbers are there, maybe even some damage. Vitor Petrino didn't, after the Asplund fight, like, he doesn't take damage on the face bad. Like, he wears it pretty good. He wasn't hurt. He wasn't really showing it against Asplund, and he got knocked down multiple times. Yeah, I think I'm going with... Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Vitor Petrino. I am. Spivak's jab is really good. However, I think Petrino is going to be able to get it done, blitzing, mix in the takedown attempts. We could see another fuck up from him and get submitted by Spivak, but I'm going with Vitor Petrino by 29-28 decision. Maybe a early rounds KO for him too. This is really hard though. It's really tricky. Moving on to the main event, Anthony Hernandez versus Gregory Rodriguez. This is a sick event, dude. This is a sick main event. This is a sick fight. I'm really excited. 5 rounds makes it very, very interesting. Anthony Hernandez, his biggest weakness, everybody knows, is to the body. Gregory Rodriguez, power, dude. This guy hits like a truck. Gas tank is his biggest weakness. Do I think he's a plus 135? That's kind of crazy. Anthony Hernandez is tough as shit. He eats a lot of shots to the face, but his defense is a bit questionable, parrying too much, having the hands down. He got hurt against Michel Pereira to the body. He got hurt against Strickland, which led to the TKO. He got hurt against, I think he got hurt against Kopylov. He got hurt against Kevin Holland to the body. But I think one aspect that's making me a bit more confident in Anthony Hernandez to get it done. I'm not quite sure who I'm going to pick. But one thing I am liking is that Anthony Hernandez has been training with Sean Strickland. And Sean Strickland, he's the middleweight champ for a reason. That guy's striking is elite. He is one of the best strikers in the UFC. Maybe the best striker in the middleweight division. Defensive-wise, 100%. Offensive, it's a bit up to debate. Gregory Rodriguez, he's kind of plotty. He doesn't have the best footwork, and he has good BJJ. We haven't seen it a lot, but this guy is a champion in the BJJ realm, so he's got it. The question is, can Anthony Hernandez get inside to chain wrestle Rodriguez? I don't think he's going to be able to take him down a lot. However, it's all about if Anthony Hernandez can get inside, close the distance, because, oh no, same reach. Can he get into the distance? Can he go for the single leg, push him against the cage, chain wrestle, even against defended takedowns, still go for it, wear down Rodriguez, and get it done? Because this is either going to be a round 4 TKO/submission for Anthony Hernandez, or an early round 1, round 2 KO for Rodriguez. This is really tricky. Really, because this is a 5-rounder. If this is a 3-rounder, I'm probably going with Rodriguez, but a 5-rounder is very, very dangerous. It's all about early rounds for Rodriguez, late rounds for Hernandez. And his gas tank is very questionable, because it's not even just against the Jared Cannonier fight. It's against Kopylov, where he also gassed out. And that wasn't a very high-paced fight. The Cannonier fight, yes, that was a bit more understandable because that was very high-paced, a lot of strikes. Kopylov fight wasn't that big, wasn't that fast. It wasn't a lot of strikes. I kind of want to look that up. I kind of want to make sure I'm right, because that is not a good look. You know, everybody's saying the Jared Cannonier fight is like, oh. Okay, maybe it was 90 strikes from Rodriguez, 52 from Kopylov, 2 takedowns from Kopylov, 1 submission attempt from Rodriguez. So maybe it was kind of a fast-paced fight. Shit. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning. Dude, Jack Hermanson was kind of picking apart Rodriguez with the jab. And also another thing with Rodriguez is he doesn't wear damage good at all. He doesn't. His face, he has a lot of scar tissue. I think he has a scar you could see in his picture right now on his left cheek. He usually wears the damage. He does get busted up a lot. So that could be good for Hernandez. And Hernandez, the elbows are there for him. He does love going for the elbows in the clinch and everything. The height difference isn't that big, you know, especially on the ground. Everyone's the same height. So we could see if he does get him on the ground in the early rounds. I don't think it's going to be on the ground too long, but we could see clinch strikes, clinch elbows, quick on the ground, quick on the ground and pound. Maybe even get a crucifix at one point. Rodriguez is very urgent to get up, and Hernandez kind of just manipulates that, gets the crucifix. I could honestly see a crucifix situation at one point where it's a lot of elbows. Rodriguez is busted up badly. I'm kind of siding with Hernandez because yes, the flub is there, the blub on the stomach. That's his biggest weakness. But I like him training with Strickland. Rodriguez definitely has the power, but I don't know if he has the same excellent technique that Strickland does in the step back knee that he did pulled off against Hernandez. And here's the thing. Here's one thing that I've been thinking about a lot, right? Everybody says Rodriguez doesn't have the best gas tank. He knows it himself. There's no one better knowing how bad your gas tank is than yourself. So I'm kind of thinking he's going to go into this knowing that this is a 5-round event, knowing that if he does kind of slowly start to gas out in the later rounds, it's going to be bad news bears. It's going to be a bad night for him in the office if he even slowly starts to slow down. So I kind of think he's going to go into this knowing that he's got to pace himself, not throw a lot. Or we could see Rodriguez the complete opposite, knowing this is a 5-round event, not wanting to get into those later rounds, wanting to put this out quickly, finish it up, and go home. So he could be on the pace. But I kind of think Hernandez could time the takedown events, disrupt the rhythm from Rodriguez. He is hittable, but he can take shots. And against the last performance with Rodriguez, KOing Bruno Ferreira, that's a good look. But Ferreira, dude, he's potty as fuck. He's going to walk into those punches, you know? He's going to look for those big shots, and that's all he does. Hernandez is not going to do that. He doesn't have a lot of power. He's an avalanche fighter. He's not going to load up and look for that big overhand. He's going to get in your face. He's going to jab you up. He's going to look for the clinch, look for the elbows, look for the knees himself, and try to trip you, try to get to the legs, take you down, wear on you constantly. I'm kind of thinking that Hernandez is going to get this done. I think I'm going to go with a round 4 TKO for Anthony Hernandez. I don't know. I just could see it. I could see it, man. I could see maybe Rodriguez hurting Hernandez at one point, but Fluffy gets the takedown, and it's like, whoa, that was close. I'm going with Fluffy. I think that's the co-main event and the main event are very hard to pick matchups. There's a reason, both of these fights are really close in odds. I'm going with Anthony Hernandez by round 4 TKO or submission. I think Rodriguez is good enough to defend the submissions and everything. We could see an arm triangle. I think that if there's a one submission that he would hit on Robocop, I think it is an arm triangle. I'm going to go with a round 4 TKO and bust him up with the elbows, get him all bloodied up. A lot of facial tissue there to fuck up. A lot of blood. I'm going to go with a round 4 TKO for Anthony Hernandez. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you guys enjoyed me uploading this on Tuesday rather than Thursday. It is a bit some time. I'm going to still be uploading videos. I don't know what days, though, because I'm moving back into my apartment, my college apartment. But I'm still going to try to upload for you guys because I love uploading. I love MMA. I love talking about it. Thank you guys for watching. See you later. Peace.